So that's been decided then. We will... Whoops. Well, I loaded up the wrong one. That's fine. Score and schedule. We will accept our loss to Southern Miss. This might screw over somebody else. Actually, no, wait. It did go through, didn't it? Or did it not? Yeah, it didn't go through. Force away win. There you go. We'll gladly accept the loss. Do you have any plans for your next rebuild? Not yet. Especially because, I mean, Madden's out, but who knows when they're going to fix, like, the defense in that game. NBA is coming out soon. But I am still not tired of this game, despite playing it for essentially a month straight. So, So then for this offseason, and really in the future now, we need to decide what the best way to go about this is. I think simming everything but the big games might be the best way to go about it. I think so. Play everything else but sim the regular season. So play the big games, basically. Distract. National title ends up being Syracuse and Southern Miss. So there you go. I guess they were making it there no matter what. As Syracuse beats App State and Southern Miss beats LSU. So, pray to God that Syracuse wins, because, I mean, we really should have been able to beat Southern Miss. We should have. What I want to do, actually, is we continue to test things out. And because we are still an All-American as opposed to Heisman. Screw it. What if we put it 15 minutes, drop minimum play clock down to 20, and see what happens there. All right, let's see who wins that national title game. And yeah, we'll just have to figure out the best way to move forward. Oh, did the staff points from before not save? Noted. Pro potential went up to a B. Stability's back up to a B+. Prestige went up. Our athletic facilities went up. Oh, in terms of higher staff, we already have coordinators. We're fine. At least it didn't mention anything about anybody getting poached. Your national champions, the Syracuse Orange over Southern Miss. 4 stars start at what tier? Tier number 4. We're heading to tier 6. So let's look first at the players that are leaving. Nobody transferring out this year. We have wasn't Snitsky's fault going pro. You jacked man like Wolverine. Can I pass to Frank? Butter my biscuit and Jordan picked the short arms are there. Billy, no. And then defensively, we lose 8th year freshman, Moist, Red Dead Interception the second, hands off, Dan's off, oh shit, I'm up, the fuck is a kilometer, and does not get David Lynch points. And we wouldn't have lost anybody on special teams. Okay. I mean, obviously that's a decent chunk of high-end talent to lose, but nothing that we can't overcome. I haven't paid attention to staff for 5 seasons. Yeah, after a certain amount of time, we talked about this last night, you just don't ever see your coordinators get poached. So, that is what it is. In terms of the draft results, we actually had 3 players go pro. Snitsky's fault, 3rd round. Freshman goes in the 6th round, and like Wolverine, in round number 7. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we, thanks to making the playoffs and getting a 1st round bye, again, right now we can still only target 3-star players. We have limitations on our recruiting to make the game more difficult. But because we made the playoffs and got a 1st round bye, we are now allowed to target 2 4-star players ahead of schedule. The question is, do we want them to be from the portal or the prospect list? And that'll be decided as to whether or not there's anybody even left on the prospect list that's interested in us. And it's not looking good in that regard. Not at all. Moist was the defensive player of the year, yeah. Yeah, there's nobody left. Okay, so from the portal, we're allowed to get 2 4-stars. And actually, we can just sort by general interest here. The problem is there's only 1 4-star, Tim Ursua, who's leaving Bowling Green as a sophomore. How do you set this type of dynasty up? It's a bit of a pain in the ass. But on the Discord, there is a section called NCAA Setup. It just involves a lot of maneuvering around the custom conferences at the start of the game. But yeah, there is a section on my Discord called NCAA Setup. It's towards the top once you join. And if you have any other questions from there, ask away. I'll be happy to answer. And technically, I actually still need to update that in terms of where I was putting teams. I actually do need to update that a little bit. But the gist of it is that we were using collegepigskin.gg and putting the 11 best teams by overall into the top conference, and then you just keep doing that until independent status has 20 teams. That's kind of how the math works out. Yeah, it was just an idea of highest rated teams at the top tier, lowest rated teams at the bottom. Where does everybody end up by the end of it? And we wanted to make it more challenging with recruitment restrictions, because otherwise, with recruitment in this game, spec into the recruiter tab, you're going to have a 5-star by like season 4. And to me, I don't think Monroe or Central Michigan should be able to bring in 5 stars that quickly. Just me, though. Just me. I'll always encourage people to play the game the way they want to play it. Unfortunately, we're allowed 2 4-stars, but there's only 1. So this was a bad year. A real bad year. To have this option available, Tim Ursua.
Just trying to walk through this
Anakin Skywalker. Oh my god, this guy's amazing. This guy is amazing. 94 awareness. Whew. So because we can only go after this one guy, we are all in, buddy. All in for you. Good lord. What's your deal breaker? Pro potential? Let's schedule a visit on that right now. It's not the biggest selling point we can do, but we got to make up as much ground as possible for that guy as quickly as possible. Aside from that, do we have any 3-stars in the portal that are interested in coming here? And so far, the answer is no. So despite our massive step up, still a lot of guys that don't want to come here, which is a bit of a shame. But we do have a decent recruitment class already, and I have to sneeze. I don't think I'm dying, but in case I am, thank you all for being here for it. Oh, man. All right. Not too much talent available for us to add here at the very end. Duly noted. Literally no 3-stars on the portal and just the 1 4-star that we can get. So everybody else here, we got to see what we can do. Shout out to Kane Takeoff, still a great name. Anybody that's a gem is going to get top priority here. And we'll see what happens from there. Even though that guy's a bust, his attributes are still really good. Are we out of gems? We might be. Okay. Well, this will make recruiting even easier than I thought it was going to be. At least at the end here. Yeah, there's literally only that 1 gem left. Okay. Well then, let's sort by player interests. And we'll actually go to the players at the bottom and prioritize these guys here. So John Jennings, good attributes, was listed as a bust. But let's see how well we can sell you on what we're doing here. We'll also schedule him a visit on championship contender status. Can we rename Kane Takeoff to Steve Takeoff? I mean, you guys will be able to rename players to whatever the hell you want. Well, not whatever the hell you want. There's gotta be some restrictions, of course. You know. See what you guys elect to do once we get to that point in time, won't we? We got to schedule a visit here for Mr. Perkins. Get you on proximity to home. Max Shabazz. Still a tremendous name. I can land this guy. Oh my god, please. You a visit for this week. Proximity to home. Mr. Clemens. Old Bernie. Sell you on. There we go. 10 points on, and you'll be our first visitor week 2. We have earned a hell of a lot of hours. Easily the most amount of hours, easy for me to say, that we've had at any point. It's nice. I mean, it does show that we're progressing, but definitely going to have to figure out how we want to handle next season. And just how I'm going to play this game in general moving forward, because I really don't know. So Mr. Takeoff. Let me sell you on. That okay? Dude, we still have so much time. Do not need to take the camera. True, but it's muscle memory at this point. That's the problem. Well, let's see here, pal. Let's, what do we do for you? Let's hope you care about proximity to home. So let's hope. And then contender status. Jesus! How many freaking players I'm gonna be able to schedule for this week? This is nuts. I am not used to having this amount of time. Not at all. Boom, Stubbs. What's going on, Stubbs? Hope you're doing all right. As this game continues to break my brain. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Let's see what happens recruitment-wise. And we'll take... There, we do get Kane Takeoff, which is great. Clemens goes to Louisville instead. I only wanted him because he was from Floyd's Knob. Yeah. Alright. How's Clemens out of there. Let's take off at the top. So the 4-star that we just started looking at is still... Oh, man. Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky. This is not great. We know he cares about... We gotta shoot the stars here. We know he cares about pro potential. Let's hope he cares about playing style and proximity to home, or contender status and program tradition. We'll go for that one. We just gotta hope for the best. At a certain point in hours, so the game just goes... or where you just go, what the fuck do I do with all this time? Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Everybody else there, we already have to sell for. Danny Shearer. Danny, what do we got for you? Oh, which one is it? Big fan, of course. Sumner's already good. He's good. He's good. Jamario Haywood. Let me sell you on. No. On you, we'll schedule the other visits later. Christian Kopp, didn't need to do that. I'm telling you, it's muscle memory. It might drive you crazy. It's going to drive me crazy at this point. Now it's been pointed out, but it is pure muscle memory. Works. Turf's already good. And then Mr. Sprinkle. There we go. All right. Let's, at this point, all we have to do is schedule out visits, and then we'll just see who we get. So, Sprinkle, proximity to home. Spain, proximity to home. Cop. Yeah, proximity to home. Haywood in week 4. 4 if it goes that far. Proximity to home. And Shearer has got to be contender status. And we're good. Nothing else we can do with these points. Just see who we get at this stage. We miss out on Shabazz, Jennings, and Perkins. But we are in second for the transfer player, Tim Ursua, who again looks phenomenal. He looks like he would be a big-time game changer for us. The only thing we can do to optimize from here is just make sure that all the visits are scheduled, and they are. Go to that final week. Hopefully we don't get locked out for Ursua. We get Alfonso Sprinkle at tackle. And Ursua does go to Kentucky. So we earn the ability to get 2 4-star players, and we will not get a single one. I mean, so there is still a benefit in that, hey, we had a good season, but with the house rules that we have on this series, we're not going to be able to really see the full fruits of the labor, essentially. We get Kerry Scherf at running back. Offensive tackle, Jarius Michaels. Defensive end, Isaiah Sumner. Offensive or just outright guard, Christian Kopp. Free safety, Danny Shearer. All right, not bad. Red, so primarily recruiting-wise, we just don't spec into recruiting. We have to rely on coordinators for that if we choose to. And then depending on what level of prestige conference we're in, that correlates to what level star recruit we can get. That way, we're not a bottom-of-the-barrel team bringing in 5 stars. Because that's no fun, to me at least. How good was Ursua? Only impact dev, but you know that guy's a beast already. That hurts. That hurts to see him go to Kentucky. Let's take a look, though, at the players that we did get. Star dev for the athlete who could be a quarterback, Corey Keglar, so that's good. Impact dev for Ty Spiegel. Normal dev for Kerry Scherf, but again, the attributes look good. Star dev fullback, Stephen Ogden, and star dev fullback, Gage Schultz. After bringing in an elite dev fullback last year, I like fullbacks. What can I say? What can I say? Play him a tight end, play him on the line, you know. Impact dev wideout, JJ DiNapoli. Star dev for Dom Myers, the platinum team player out of the gates. Normal dev for Jordan Shabazz. Very tall and can jump very high. Tackle, normal dev for Sprinkle and Jarius Michaels. Okay. Star dev for Tyron Watts. 93 strength. Impact dev for Tavares Spain, Christian Kopp, and normal dev for Jabario Haywood. And the center, Stephen Ivey, also has normal dev. Defensive end, Isaiah Sumner with impact dev. Kane Takeoff had impact dev. And 90 speed, though. Star dev for safety, Danny Shearer. And that's that. So our class this year, while Ohio State, Syracuse, USC, Georgia, and LSU had the top 5, where were we? We were at like 44 last year, which is the highest ranking we've ever had. This year, down at 57. We only brought in 18 recruits, and we missed out on our 1 4-star. But again, pretty solid. You know, top half of the board. So that sets us up for position changes. No elite devs this year, unfortunately. And we're already showing up as an 82 without any supplemental development whatsoever, which is great. So taking a look here, if we still have, honestly, 89 speed can be the threshold to say we want you at wideout. So these two at the top, Cincinnati and Kerry Scherf, can either of you catch a ball? Yes, but not particularly well. Can either of you run routes? Not particularly well. And that's obviously something that'll kill their overall, which we have seen before. Yeah, I mean, he'd be down to a 47. He'd end up being kind of unusable like the other guys. Maybe we should sort more by route running than outright speed. There's an argument. How many of these guys here are struggling to run routes right now? It's not as bad as I would have thought. As bad as I would have thought. Snack Bar and Kyrie Flat Earth definitely have to move back somewhere else, though. And I believe they were both brought in as running backs. Kyrie was actually in the quarterback conversation. We'll put him at running back then. And then, oh, hello, Snack Bar. We'll also put him back in the running back conversation. So then for the wideouts. I mean, we got a couple of guys who certainly aren't the best route runners in the world. Take a look here. I cannot handle the cowbell right now. I can't do it. We definitely have some guys that are better route runners, but we also know they can be good here too. But yeah, I mean, when you have medium and half decent deep route running as well, which we can't see from here, it's got to be done. So these top four, they all catch the ball decently. Yeah, those top four, I think we got to move back to wide out and make the most of them from there. So, but then again, Joseph Marion Jesus is a significantly better running back over wide out, apparently. So, what about Sarcastic Drama? Also significantly better. Maybe we will just go off of what the game's recommending as their top positions. We get promoted. We sure did. Donald Duckville Donahue, though, can definitely go back to wide out. What about Herschel needs a walker? We'll leave him at running back. I mean, that way we do have at least 3 very, very solid running backs on this team. Bare minimum. I'm a little bit surprised, though, with the route running that they have, that they'd be listed as being that bad at wideout. Why? They're relatively fast. They can catch a football. Why would they be listed that lowly? Good question. Someone like JJ DiNapoli. He's not horrific, but he's not great. Okay. I think I know what I want to do here. I think I know. I think I do want route running to be a little bit more important than it has been. So, Jordan Shabazz, good short route running, not much else. Put him at running back for now. For the overall ratings, let's go with our gut here. 2 guys that have at least a 70. I kind of want all 3 attributes, though, to be at least a 70, like these guys that are super high-end. And so these bottom 4, because we have the athletes as well this year that we need to look at. Let's move these bottom 4 over to running back. And we'll see what the team ends up looking like at that point. And if this is going to work out for us. Might not. But it wouldn't be me in control of a team if we weren't changing things up after a successful season. Now, what it... Can Bowser Holly play anywhere else? He does have good accuracy, but that 85 throw power is concerning. He is a quarterback only. Okay, what about Rick Roll? Maybe play running back. Let's see what he looks like in that position. Because quarterback now, we're actually going to be looking pretty good. So a hell of a lot of running back options here. Again, anybody that has half-decent route running, though, which is the top 3. Technically, Dom Myers has that medium as well. Okay. So, Dom, put you back at wideout, which is where you were before. Joseph Marion Jesus. Hello, Daniel Webster. Danny, how are you? We made the college football playoff and then lost to Southern Miss. Brett Favre made me cry. And I still have no idea how I want to handle certain things about this game. So you haven't missed a ton. All right, I think that's okay for the moment. We still got to sort out fullbacks and stuff. I mean, the wideout room still looks good. Some of these guys, you could argue, are better suited at running back as opposed to wideout, but for the moment, that does look all right. Stealing tax dollars to national title. That's the way of the world. So these two athletes, as per usual, 37 throw power for Keglar is not bad, but who can play defense? Decent man in zone for Ty Spiegel. The other guy is definitely on the offensive side. So let's put Ty at corner. Keglar, we know that you're an offensive player. Could be a quarterback. Route running isn't amazing. Catching's also not amazing. Moki, we did get promoted, yes. Through the controversy and all. So, with these quarterbacks, we would have already known that none of these guys can really play anywhere else. I'm running. No, it's just off my instinct here and just double check. For some reason, I have a feeling there might be an athlete that we now want to switch. Asamori is not one of them. There's no shot. Maybe Josiah of the Backbreaker. Who does have the good tackling. He's got decent man in zone. We're heading into like 2045 or 2046 or something like that. We're closing in on the 30-year limit. As ridiculous as that sounds. Amaro and Josiah are okay defensively. If we needed the help there. Both have 85 tackling. How many natties? 0. We have heavy recruitment restrictions to not be able to win a national title in 4 years with any team. Because that's no fun. I want it to take time. I want it to mean something. And I'm worth my weight in gold. It's already on defense. So these two, what's the tight end situation like? I imagine we're going to have to move somebody else over to tight end. These two aren't bad, but I think if we could train them up on defense, that'll be a good way to go. So let's move them both over there, actually. Remember the Amaro. So we got our 5 QBs, which is fine. Way too many guys who are better suited at running back, but some of them we might have at tight end. Wideout room, we're looking fine. Honestly, with the tight end room, it's just probably too little speed to appropriately be a wideout. It's kind of the theme there. Like decent-ish route running, but too little speed that we'd want it wideout. Anybody here, decent catching. Most of them, literally except for Rickroll. Rick, I didn't realize your catching was going to be that bad. Let's put you back at quarterback. I'm trying to find some of these guys a spot on this team, but that is easier said than done. Again, in terms of the route running, there's really nobody else that we boost up to that next level. Okay. At least with the short route running, we have these 4. Everybody can catch a football. There are some decent speed options, huh? We could move Keglar and read some Brooks over to tight end. It'd be a little bit undersized, but I'm really not too worried about that. Yikes. Either that or we'll move somebody on the O-line over. Damn. Damn. Yeah, we're just going to have to cut certain players. I'm pretty much going to have to give in unless Keglar and REDUX are decent enough at tight end, but I think we're going to have to cut people. Okay, Keglar can play tight end. That's fine. What about REDUX? Thank God. Okay. At least have a place for those two. Running back room, though, there's going to have to be some cuts, for sure. For the fullbacks, there's a lot of these guys. Can anybody catch a football? Yes, for Lara. Then it almost goes in order. Lara doesn't have the speed. Obviously, we don't want to carry that many fullbacks. That's ridiculous. But I think we can put Stephen Ogden. Drops heavily. Being moved to tight end. What about LeBron? Drops heavily. Apparently, Laura Kraft is a decent enough tight end. We can at least move them over, and then Gage Schultz drops pretty badly. Okay. Laura, you're off the tight end. You've graduated. Congratulations. You're way too slow, but congratulations. You're moving on up. It does make me wonder if we were to optimize this and just put people in their highest rated position, what it would look like, but I have a feeling we'd have about a dozen quarterbacks. At least. On the O-line this year. Apparently Funky's a 93, but again, we know he can't catch. He's a good blocking type, but he literally can't catch a football. All in casket barbecue. Let's move you over to tackle. Sukaka's probably also better suited as a tackle. Yeah, we got a lot of people who, just based on their mobility, would probably be better suited to tackle. All those guys can honestly stay at center and just fight for the same spots. Mr. Keys is going to move over. All these new additions at right guard also over to center. Train them up there. Just make them be decent enough centers in case we can't rely on them to do anything more than snap a football and stand in the way, which is pretty common. Art Spain. Art. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, like Alfonso Sprinkle, I mean, change of direction, agility, both terrible. Like, he's going to get just steamrolled. He's going to get absolutely steamrolled if you leave him at tackle. There's just no way. All right, so at right tackle, an 87 and an 81. And then, okay, so definitely 90 left guard there and 84 there. Ooh. Leave the 81 as a backup. I think I want to leave Keys out there. One of them has to be the backup left tackle. Center, we can just trust that somebody will develop. So let's have Mr. Mojito duel it out for that starting right guard position. And then we'll have move over to left guard to be the back there. And that sets up the O-line decently well with a good amount of depth, depending on what the hell happens in that ridiculous center position. Defensive line. We want to move Isaiah Sumner over to tackle. Golino, hello. How are you, buddy? Wow, we are low on defensive tackles all of a sudden. Okay. Raekwon, Juan. We need to move you over to safety, kind of out of necessity. A lot of people there with at least 89 speed. Going to kind of be the threshold. It's been a weird 48 hours. I will not ask details, but that is certainly an intriguing first message to leave. Let's move. Even Hooch Gooch would get a quarterback. We'd have so many quarterbacks. It's ridiculous. James Beach would also be a quarterback. How many athletes we brought in. This team, on paper, might not be as good as I want. Unless we say it's a 90 speed threshold minimum. And I think it's going to have to be. So, old Pharaoh Tutankhamun, we need you to play safety. And we're going to need Junior Gooch to move back to safety after a year away. That works. That gets us a little bit of depth there, a little bit of depth there. That looks a bit better. Linebacker-wise, covered a Barcelona women's game yesterday. A girl who was on the team I covered over the summer. Oh, so you have a stalker. That is an interesting turn of events. Fair play. Fair play on having a stalker. You could have given me a million guesses to get what you were about to bring up, and I don't think I would have guessed that. Huh. I don't know if I should say congratulations or if I should be fearful. If you should be fearful, I'm almost fearful just sitting here. All right, Shakira, you got to move the defensive tackle. Honestly, let's move Major Sloman probably to defensive tackle as well. And then for the linebackers, anybody but good zone coverage. We're going to move to the middle. Vernon, what's up, buddy? Good morning, good morning. How about Chiesa? Imagine that. Liverpool making a signing. Fairness, he hasn't leaned yet. So. At this moment. Downloaded torrents. You over. The other linebackers. She's got you right where she wants you. I'm a bit weirded out by this, by the fact that she keeps calling me. But also... Oh, Galeno. Galeno, you've either found a wife or the person that's gonna murder you. I hate to tell you. I don't think there's any in between at this point. I hate to tell you. Or both, even. Yeah, you know, that's true. They don't have to be exclusive, right? All right, so for these linebackers, what does the Ryan Clark say? We're going to move you to defensive end. Who else? Here, Brian Danielson, world champ. You to defensive end. These two as well. Got a splash. How did the stream go? Hope it went well, sir. We got all these conversation pieces dropping, and I'm just so distracted. We can move one more linebacker out. I'm gonna have to anyway. I have a trip scheduled down to her college next month, so if I don't come back, you know why. Oh, Galeno. It's been nice knowing you, champ. It's been nice knowing you. Whew. I have interviews set up with her and her... You do not let those teammates go anywhere. You demand they stay in the same room at all times. Protect yourself. Protect yourself at all times. It's a dangerous situation. Alright, let's see. Since you guys can't really play zone, screw it, we'll move you. Defensive end as well, and that way our linebacker core will all at least be people who can somewhat play zone coverage. Anybody else here? Who's got the weaker zone coverage? Anybody sub 80 will move to the outside. which includes Keenan Enkel. Mommy left Pape. Then I think it was Spider-Man and Shadarius. Yeah. Spider-Man to the outside. So our defensive situation is looking interesting based off of whether or not we have this finalized. Defensive end's looking a bit weak, unless we were... Oh, how good our linebacker core is going to be. Move Mommy left Pape over to the other side. He could end up being the starter. How good that linebacker core is going to be. I think we're only going to run one defensive tackle. So, Degenerate Gambler. Put him on that right side, and from there, I think we're okay. 87, oops, 87, 84, a 90, 85, 88, 83, an 81, and an 80. Corners are going to be looking okay after training camp. Safeties are looking okay. Punter are looking okay. I think we're all right here to see what kind of training camp results we get. A little bit worried about the multiple fullbacks, but I made that bed, and damn it, I'll lie in it. Not what I expected to happen. I can tell. I don't think anybody should expect that to happen, personally. All right, 87 overall, our highest team rating so far. Cornell Sanders showing up as an 80. With an 83 overall, currently cracked the Casey. Wow, Maury's gotten jumped by a couple of people. By Dalvin, by Casey. Interesting. We got, oh yeah, Kyrie is loving life back at running back instead of wide out. Holy shit. He turned into the number one. Time to go 3-9? Probably. Fullback Ebron looking good. Wide out core is the best it's ever been. We have not had a group of wideouts be this talented ever. Same at tight end. Dude, Lara Kraft became an ungodly tight end. Slow, but holy, this is the best team we've ever had. This is the best team we've ever had, on paper, easily. So, that still means I have no idea if we should sim more or play more, because when we play, they suck. But when we sim, it's not as fun or immersive. Jesus Christ! Dude, this guy went up by like 15 points from linebacker to defensive end. Both of them did. These two were trash tier, like 60 some odd linebackers. This guy jumped to a 90. Holy hell. This off-season development was insane. Dude, imagine if we still had the coordinators that spec'd into Motivator as well. Imagine. We'd have a 90 overall team. Dude, we don't even have the freaking coordinators that were focused on Motivator anymore. What the fuck? Am I gonna play? Am I gonna super sim, or am I just gonna sim from the menu week to week? What the hell am I gonna do? We only have to cut 6 players. Which I hate to say it, that makes it obvious at quarterback. Bowza Holly, as a junior, you gotta go. You're never gonna play. Tremendous name, but we'll let him go. Running back, I mean, I'll try not to cut anybody because that's a hell of a crop of talent right there. We could get rid of Ebron at fullback, but I'd like to keep him. A couple of wideouts that could go. Yeah, I mean, sarcastic drama, hate to say it, but you're on the outs. The senior tight end, Numlegs the 6th, is a very obvious cut here. Obviously, all of our decent O-linemen in training are parked at center. Gotta mean, shit, dude. Degenerate Gambler just became surplus, and he's an 85. How the hell did that happen? How the hell did that happen? How'd you become surplus at an 85 overall, my man? What? This is... The off-season development's crazy. We're gonna cut Gut Rump so I don't have to explain that joke anymore. Alright, well, 2 people have to go. I mean, the freshman Rick Roll is never going to play. Because Crack the Casey's also a freshman, and he's 6 overall points higher. So we'll get rid of Rick. I mean, he's just never going to play. And at running back, Snack Bar is never going to play because he's behind Cincinnati and petered out. So sorry to the Snack Bar. You're also gone. That gets us to our 85. We got to update the conferences here, of course, too, but I feel like if we super sim and do our typical setup, we're going to screw the team out of wins. I feel like it's got to be a mix of the two. Damn it. We cannot waste a team this good. We have to make sure they're winning as much as possible. First things first, moving up from independent status, the Ohio Bobcats. As they take over for our old pals, our old partners, Wyoming Cowboys. And we also have James Madison University on the way down for Toledo. Promoted out of Conference USA as champions, we have Georgia Southern. They head to the MAC to replace Sam Houston. Obviously, we'll go over our new conference shortly. And you guys can obviously get a peek at what some of these other conferences are looking like. Way in the future. Way in the future. Arizona were promoted out of the MAC. They're heading to the Sun Belt. Replaced Liberty Bibberty. Arizona finally stops their frickin' free fall tumble through the conferences, hitting every branch on the way down. Troy Trojans are heading to the American to replace Fresno State. We're showing up as an 88 overall after those cuts. What the hell? This is insane. How good this team is. And again, no 5 stars in this program at all. We're up now to a 3.5-star program, too. And of course, Ball State promoted as champions. We head to the Mountain West to replace Washington State. Never thought I would see the day. Especially with how the hell we got there. And the last change to make is Cincinnati heading to the Pac-12 to replace Virginia Tech. So those are the teams that we are now in conference with, as we have caught up to Coastal Carolina and Miami, 2 of our biggest rivals throughout the duration of this challenge. Again, we'll go over team overalls and everything like that once we get to the preseason. Pac-12 champs with the BC Eagles. They head back to the ACC, where they replace UCLA, which again is crazy to me. We've seen UCLA, I think they won back-to-back natties once upon a time, and now they are tumbling. Pittsburgh Panthers head to the Big 12, and somehow in the same conference as Clemson. I mean, I thought once, maybe eventually we could make it into the same conference as Clemson. I didn't think it would be because they tumbled this far down the rankings. That's for sure. It was like 15 years ago. Hey, 15 years ago was recent. What do you mean 2009 was 15 years ago? What do you mean 2010 was 15 years ago, depending on when this gets uploaded, which will probably be fucking 2025 at this point. Might even be 2026, who knows? Syracuse, why is there a Pac-12 still? Because I wanted there to be. Because I wanted there to be. Pac-12, never die. Alabama, let's drop. Dude, Syracuse. Takes Alabama's spot. App State are now in a higher conference than Alabama. That is insanity. And Ohio State head back to the SEC to replace Miami. So that is the top tier. And this weird promotion relegation system comes to college football challenge. Crazy. So midlife, they were at the start of the game. They do change, obviously, throughout Dynasty, but they haven't changed enough to warrant me switching every year because the conference strength is dependent on the teams that are in them. So more often than not, the SEC still ends up getting recognized in games, the top conference anyway. So. All right. So this offseason then is about over. This preseason, this is going to be the interesting part, I would say. How the hell are we in 2047? We are closing in on that 30-year limit. I do, of course, need chat's help to decide the open games in our schedule. We will reschedule FCS Midwest. Of course, we go to the old spinner deal, and it ends up on D. So if there's a team that starts with D, that is who we will replace. And if there's more than one, you guys get to vote on it. And, well, there's only one. It is the Duke Blue Devils. We'll be heading to Durham. And then week number 4, Dick University. Yeah, well, you know. Week number 4, we spin an F. So, yeah, you guys will have a chance to vote between 2 different teams. Will it be the 90 overall Florida Gators or the 82 overall Florida Atlantic Owls? Dude, the Gators they're back, baby. Head coach Tim Tebow leading them to glory. While y'all vote on that, let's go see what our board's going to look like for this year. We are still only allowed to bring in 3 stars because, again, you know, how many, let's see, in real life, you could argue about, okay, the prestige of the conferences and stuff like that, right? But in real life, how many teams in the Sun Belt are bringing in 5 stars consistently, if at all? You know, that's what we're trying to avoid. So let's see, 3 stars only here. We'll look at those who are interested in us first. Uh-oh. And then we'll look, oh my god. Then we'll look at Gold Pipeline. So apparently we're going to be playing the Florida Gators this year. Finally get a wide receiver. Alani Mama. No tight ends. Uh-oh. Dude, the 3 stars? The 3 stars might now view our program as too good to want to come here consistently. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Meg, no, we missed our window for that. Wow. There is literally 1 3-star player that wants to be here. But let me guess, there's a lot of 4 stars? Not a lot. There's a decent amount. But again, we're not going after them. Okay, how many 3 stars have a gold pipeline? Since we know that we'll have the kind of home field advantage in recruiting these guys. Even the fullback, baby. Even the fullback. Always target the fullbacks. Always. Still not a ton of players to start. We'll debate whether or not we want to target people with a 2-star pipeline early. Kind of depends. I mean, we have quite a few hours. I think we're going to be able to scout everybody, too. Yeah, we're going to have to start looking at the 2s. Okay. Silver pipeline. Oh, my God. There's so many quarterbacks. Oh, well, let's start in reverse order. Let's back it up. We don't necessarily need quarterbacks. Silver pipelines. And we don't typically look at the bronze pipelines because it's barely an advantage. now. Good. I was really hoping that guy's name was going to be Dick Wimper. There we go. We're on 35. So, linebackers where we ended things. Let's take a look then. Quarterback Oscar Puente. Oscar. Wow, our scouting's going to take a lot longer because of those changes that we made. That's unfortunate. And he's okay. He's not amazing. No gold team player. He's fine. I don't really know if we necessarily need him at all. Awareness is only... I'm going to say no. I don't think we absolutely need him. The running back, Tobias Forbath. 90 speed, 91 acceleration, gold natural. Yeah, we'll target him. His awareness was kind of shit. But we'll at least target him. The fullback, Glenn Dalton. Is a bust. Let's go ahead and ignore him. Alani Mama. Fast as hell. Platinum team player out of the gates. Some of the other attributes I'm a bit worried about, but we'll definitely target him. Why not cut it off at 4-star when you move up the conferences up to 5? Why not cut it off at 4-star and when you move up conferences up to 5? Because I already have a set list. There's 11 tiers, right? I'll explain to you how I have it set up here. Right? We have 11 tiers. Indie tier at the bottom, with the most amount of teams. We were only allowed to get 1-stars at that point. We advance out of it. Conference USA is 2 stars. The MAC was 2 stars. Sunbelt was 2 stars. Tier 7, 3-star. Tier 6, 3-star. Tier 5, 3-star. Tier 4, 4-star. 4-star. Top 2 tiers, 5-star and 5-star. To really make it a reward to get a 5-star. Right? Again, we wanted a challenge in how we were building up this team, how long it was going to take. Of course, we discovered... JCG, you're fine. I don't expect everybody to know the stupid-ass challenge that we're doing here. But yeah, we wanted to make recruitment a little bit more restrictive. Maybe a lot more restrictive, as it turned out. Especially with the way the sim engine works in this game. As we have discovered recently, I may have made a massive, massive mistake in the way I've handled the vast majority of this. But at this point, we are too far invested. At least I am. To stop now. This guy's okay. His awareness kind of sucks. His general attributes are good. JT Byam. Okay, so we can scout defensive players relatively fast. He is, I mean, okay. Most attributes in the 70s. He's okay-ish. I mean, if we were to get him, that's not the end of the world. Ezekiel Kronk. What a name. Unfortunately, not much of a player. Logan Costanzo. A gem with platinum clear-headed out of the gates. That is a beautiful sight. And then we have a million linebackers.